What's up everyone, Kwame here. So it's been 1 year since I've had the Sony a7CR, actually a little bit over a year, and I want to talk about my experience using it in that time frame because my perception of this camera has changed in that year. So this is a 61 megapixel sensor in a APS-C body style camera, which is amazing. And that's what really drew me to this camera. It's like such a powerful camera in a small body. I love small body cameras. I think if I was back in the 80s, I would have loved a rangefinder. So this is rangefinder-ish size camera. And I really like everything about this camera, but for the longest time, I felt like it was too much camera for me, right? I'm not printing massive, large pictures. I'm not doing product photography shots where I got to go in and grab like a hand from here or a dress from this side or something like that, right? One of the things that attracted me to that massive sensor was the idea of being able to crop in, being able to do like a 16 by 9 image from one single shot, or doing an X-pan image from a single shot and not losing a ton of resolution. And I wasn't really doing that all that much. And also, I shoot JPEG 95% of the time, so I wasn't even using the full power of the 61 megapixel sensor. However, when we went to Senegal, that's where this camera really shined for me. So on that trip, I brought two prime lenses, the 35 millimeter Samyang lens and the 90 millimeter Sigma lens. And that's it. And so when you are constrained by the gear that you have, you really get to know a camera. And for me, this camera shined there because when I'm traveling, I don't want to draw attention to myself. So a small compact body camera like this was perfect. People would see it and they didn't pay me any attention. Also, if I went into like a museum or someone's shop, they didn't think like, oh, massive camera, pro photography or anything like that. They're just like, oh, that's fine. Like you can take pictures. It's okay. Not knowing that there's a 61 megapixel sensor in here. The other thing that I like doing is shooting pictures out of a car. I feel like you're immersed in the environment without getting in people's face. Because one thing in Senegal is they don't like getting their picture taken, which sounds weird, but like they don't want you just in their face taking their pictures. So if you have a camera like this where you can take some pictures from the car and then be able to crop in and recompose later with still a ton of resolution is really awesome. Another thing that was great was it felt like traveling with two cameras in one because I mapped my red button, the record button up here, to be the APS-C mode for this camera. So by pressing that, my 35 millimeter lens now turned into a 55 millimeter lens, and the 90 millimeter lens turned into like a 135 millimeter lens. So it was nice to just get a little extra reach in camera without having to do it in post. And again, I didn't use it a ton, but when I did use it, it was nice to have. So outside of traveling to Senegal, I've taken this camera to South Africa, Hawaii, and my everyday life. And again, it just fits, especially with this Sigma 24 millimeter lens. This is the way I like carrying this camera because, again, small, compact. I can go for a walk with my wife, with the dog. We can go to a coffee shop. I can take it out, take some pictures. No one is looking at me doing that. I just look like a hipster middle-aged man taking pictures. And also, going into different museums or places, no one is complaining about this size camera. For me, the test of a real camera comes from when it just disappears, right? When I can just pull it out and just use it and not worry about it, not think about it. And that's what I get with this camera. Autofocus is amazing. The buttons and dials feel great. And it looks pretty cool with this two-tone style. Now, no camera's perfect. I wish there was a joystick on the back here. I do feel like there's some room for that, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Now, I don't think this camera is for everyone. If you're someone who's into wedding photography or action photography, like sports, wildlife, you're going in the backwoods or anything like that, even if you're a hobbyist, this is not for you. It doesn't have dual card slots. It's not the fastest with the shutter speed. There's no global shutter or anything like that. So probably not for you. But if you're someone like me who is what I consider a professional hobbyist photographer. I take my photography very seriously. I love having a small compact camera that just melts in my hand, and I know I can trust the images I'm going to get out of it. Then I highly recommend this camera. If you have this camera, let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Like, what's your experience been using a camera like this? Again, that small, compact form factor that just disappears when I'm using it is perfect, and I absolutely love it. Thank you as always for watching this video. If you like this type of content, please hit that like and subscribe button. I do have a Substack newsletter where I talk about the philosophy of photography over there, so I would love if you sign up for that. And I will see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye bye.